In the oldest whispers of the ancient world, before temples gleamed and heroes were born, there was a girl named Medusa, a mortal with a beauty so radiant it caught the eye of the gods and monsters alike. But beauty is a dangerous currency in Olympus. One night, deep within Athena's marble temple, the sea god Poseidon arrived like a storm with two legs. What happened inside those sacred walls is lost to shadow and fear. What is remembered is Athena's fury, not at Poseidon, the mortal con in a divine crossfire. Goddess's punishment was silent, swift, and cruel. Hair turned to serpents, eyes cursed to petrify, priestess transformed into a weapon. Medusa fled into the cold edges of the world where no light dared linger. Her sisters, also twisted into monsters, kept watch in a land forgotten by hope. There, Medusa waited, not as a villain, but as a warning. Yet, the gods were not done with her. Athena later guided the hero Perseus, handing him tools forged for one purpose: to kill the creature she herself created. Perseus approached Medusa as she slept, using the bronze shield to avoid her deadly gaze. One swing, one breath, silence. When her head fell, the earth shuddered, and from her blood rose Pegasus, the winged horse, proof that even cursed things can birth miracles. Athena took Medusa's severed head and mounted it on her shield, a reminder, a trophy, or perhaps a confession. Because some say Athena didn't hate Medusa, she pitied her. Some say the true monster was the system of gods that devoured its own. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Mystic Junkie. My name's Jason, I'm your host. This is the show where we talk about all things weird, wild, and magical. As you know, the show hasn't been around for a little while. I think it was 6 months ago was the last time I actually posted a show out there. And I have just been working. I've been doing a lot of other things. I produced another podcast for my boss. It's Backstage Bullshit or Backstage BS on the same YouTube channel. It's just a different playlist. You can check it out right here and let me know what you think. I've been really focused on that, and then my other job, which is anything McCurdy's Comedy Theater. Thank you guys for your patience. I have been going through your feedback and everything. I hope you guys liked the intro, the shadow tale of Athena and Medusa, because I think those two have a very interesting story and how they intertwine with each other. I think what they're up to, I think it's pertinent. I think it's pertinent to the world. I hope down the road to memorize all my scripts, but until that day comes, we are reading. So thank you guys for all your patience. The Athena Medusa myth, the real story, the lies, and the shadows. The classic version, but not the original. Most people know the version told by the Roman poet Ovid in Metamorphoses. People know Medusa was a beautiful mortal priestess. She took a vow of celibacy in Athena's temple. Poseidon became infatuated with her. Medusa was assaulted by Poseidon in Athena's temple. Athena saw this as dishonor and punished Medusa by transforming her into a gorgon. So, according to Athena, it was Medusa's fault that she got assaulted. This version is dark and unfair, and it's Roman, not Greek. But here's where it gets interesting. This is not the original Greek myth. Earlier Greek versions actually contradict all of this. The early Greek version is older, and they're different. In the earlier Greek myth, Medusa was always a gorgon. She was born monstrous. She had two gorgon sisters, Stheno and Uriel. You know the drill. She was the only mortal among them. No assault, no temple, no punishment, no beautiful maiden turned monster. Athena has nothing to do with her creation. So why did Ovid write this centuries later? Because Romans loved moral lessons, tragedy, virgin purity culture, women punished for dishonor tropes. You know, Ovid's version added drama and a victim. The alternative myth, Athena protects Medusa. This interpretation, many modern scholars and feminist mythologists, that's a mouthful, argue for. They propose Athena didn't punish Medusa, she actually saved her. Scholars suggest Medusa was assaulted in Athena's temple. Athena, unable to punish a fellow Olympian because Poseidon outranked her politically, she transformed Medusa to give her power, turning her into something no man could touch ever again, giving her a deadly weapon, her gaze, them eyes, making her a protective figure rather than a victim. This kind of flips the whole story on its head, doesn't it? Her transformation isn't actually a curse, it's actually her armor. You don't mess with Medusa now, do you? In this version, Athena becomes a protector, a transformer, a goddess who channels trauma into power. This interpretation comes from modern retellings, feminist scholarship, and closer readings of the symbolic myth patterns itself. So maybe an older perspective on the world and an older perspective on situations and assault were creating essentially different lenses on what this actually was. And with a new perspective, it is thought that possibly maybe this is actually Athena was helping a girl out. Athena was helping her out. Feel like, I can't do anything about that asshole, but I can make you badass and you go take care of shit. Got you, girl. I like that. To be honest with you, I like that. The most mysterious part though, why does Athena wear Medusa's head? After Perseus kills Medusa, he gives the head to Athena, who places it on her shield and sometimes even on her breastplate. Why would she wear the head of someone she supposedly punished? Here are the interpretations. Athena honors Medusa. Medusa's severed head becomes a protective talisman, a warning to aggressors, a symbol of female rage weaponized. That was the one that I liked the most. Like, I mean, honestly, if you're gonna go to war and you're gonna have some symbol, freaking skipping out, skip a lion, skip a freaking horse, put Medusa, one look in her eyes, and stone. Athena taking the head symbolizes solidarity, the integration of trauma and devour, the merging of warrior and victim. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, as I was writing this down, this sounds kind of like bullshit. Medusa was originally Athena's older form, so that's one theory. So some anthropologists believe Medusa and Athena were originally one goddess, so they're actually not enemies, they're not homies, they're not actually existing in two separate ways, they are one. The Gorgon face is an ancient symbol to ward off evil. When Greek culture shifted, Athena became the civilized version, and Medusa was the wild and dark version. For your guy, you got one. Civilized, wild and dark. Why do we have this myth? What's the point of this? It tells us about a culture shift from a matriarchal to a patriarchal region. A powerful older goddess being overwritten, tamed, or merged into the new Olympian system. Athena versus Medusa is two sides of feminine power. So I think the moral of this whole story is both of these goddesses are representing different perspectives of female power. Athena represents logic, strategy, socially acceptable power, civilization, order, masculinized femininity. And Medusa represents rage, trauma, uncontrolled feminine power, nature, danger, and raw emotion. Athena equals controlled power. Medusa equals uncontrolled power. Together they form the complete archetype of feminine strength. Why did Perseus's quest involve both? So as you remember in the story, Athena guided the hero Perseus, handing him tools forged for one purpose, to kill Medusa. So why did he do that? And why was he successful at his journey in killing her? Well, Athena gives him a reflective shield and exact directions. Listen to the directions and support every single turn. So he had the tools, he had a plan, and he had the vibes to keep him going. It appears Athena wants Medusa dead, or does she actually want her liberated from her suffering? Or does she actually want her power? Different schools interpret this differently. Leave that up to you. Some storytellers will say that Medusa actually never wanted to live cursed, and she felt confined by the curse that she was living, and Medusa was orchestrating a merciful ending by using Perseus. And taking the head wasn't about taking a trophy, it was about preserving power and merging into that power. So the head and on her shield actually became eternal protection, became symbol of righteous rage, and it became a warning against injustice. Athena turned a tragedy into a weapon of justice. So through this whole story is something really tragic happened to Medusa, and Athena took the story, made Medusa strong, and then Medusa was still suffering, so she helped her and then took her head and used it as a symbol of strength. This myth is not simple because honestly, what does it really show? It shows trauma can turn into transformation. Victimhood can be reclaimed. You can change your victimhood into a reclamation. Patriarchy rewriting older stories. So some dude changed the original story because he didn't agree what happened. He made Medusa a different type of victim. And the split feminine archetype, women are multifaceted. You can't put women in one box. How society reacts to women's power, I think that is something that we could do a whole episode on. And how ancient myths hide political shifts. I think it's cool to go over these type of stories, and there's so much drama that happens in these old Greek stories, and I think it's important to read about them, maybe learn about them and see the symbolism behind them, because maybe you can take this information and transfer it to your own life. You can transfer it to what's going on in the world. Sometimes it's important to take a step back and learn about something new. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Mystic Junkie. You can find all the information and different episodes and different playlists right here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll catch you next time.